Chris from Chicago writes in and says, hey, so how did you get into video games? Did an Atari just appear in your home one day? Did you grab a Nintendo Power randomly? Did someone bring a Game Boy to school? Like what happened? What happened? How did you end up like this? Let's start with Jan and go counterclockwise.
We'll go back in time.
Shouts out to my uncle Alan, or Alan, if you don't have a Filipino accent. He had a Sega Genesis, and I was like, yo, Jerome, this shit's hella tight. And then me being 2 or 3, I was like, yo, you're right, Uncle Alan, this is hella tight. And then I specifically remember it was the X-Men game for the Sega Genesis, and I couldn't for the life of me figure out how to play or beat a level that I was
I still can't. That game's fucking hard, dude.
I don't know why he gave it to me then. And I was just in like an ice level as the beast, and I got upset that I couldn't make anything happen.
Aww.
And he was outside working on his car, and I went outside and it started raining. And then I was like, Uncle Alan, I can't figure this out. And then he just looks at me. It's like, get in. Let's get McDonald's.
That's
the answer.
That's the answer.
And you were hooked.
And I was hooked
from that day forward.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like a cool uncle.
He's
like
pretty
playing
tight.
video games equals McDonald's.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like Beast standing out in that ice level, you know?
And then,
Mhm.
God, that is such a
or little
weird
Jan
one.
standing in the rain.
All right, Danny, what do you got?
My brother, sister, and myself had a joint Christmas present. It was by far the biggest thing we ever got because we didn't really, those early years, there wasn't much presents going around. But we got like I don't know how it came, but it was the Amiga 600, like the box that's literally behind me right now. That was what was underneath the Christmas tree. The Wild, the Weird, and the Wicked. It had a pushover, putty, the Jeff Crammond Formula 1 video game, and Deluxe Paint 3 in it. And I guess Commodore was kind of selling the Amiga as it's not just a rot your kids' brains, video game thing. It's also educational. But
Sure.
just played games on it, and occasionally did Deluxe Paint. And that was it. And I had my brother and sister to show me how to play games because I was young. I was 6 maybe. And I wasn't good at them or anything, so I kind of watched them. It's also how I got into F1, weirdly enough. My sister got way into Jeff Crammond's F1, then started watching F1, and then I started watching F1, so I got a lot to thank for Santa Claus bringing an Amiga 600 in 1992.
Jason, what about you?
Atari 2600 showed up under the Christmas tree, and it was for me, apparently, but my uncle and aunt and mother all played it way more than I did. They would not give me a turn. But it was my goddamn system.
The Christmas
I'll never
law,
forgive them.
The Christmas laws, it was deemed to you. So what the heck?
Yeah.
My mom would steal my NES as well. God damn it. Like on days that I was sick home from school, I'm like, fuck yeah, I get to play video games. No, she would actually go and take it and play it in her room, even though I was home sick. It pissed me off. My oldest son, my oldest son, his first was PlayStation. And I remember one night when he was 3, I'll never ever forget. He would not go to bed, and it was probably 2 or 3 in the morning, and he's just screaming at the top of his lungs, I just want to play video games. And,
What, that doesn't happen to you every night? That's awesome. That's what I do. That's my life. I scream middle of the night.
Yeah.
I just
God. It's like night terrors, but
play video games.
You're just generations of gamers over there.
Yeah.
how about you, Backlar?
I don't really know. My earliest memory is my dad, I think, buying an Atari 2600. I don't know how he acquired it. I was way too young to really appreciate it. I was probably 3 or 4 at the time. And the only thing I know about my introduction then was he did not play it. He got it. So I assume someone he must have just gotten it somehow. because I don't think he would have actively bought it because my dad does not play video games. Pinball is the extent of his gaming. And I just, like that's my first memory of it. I'm not even sure that's what got me into it because I don't have that many memories of playing Atari either. It's more NES is like the first thing. But but NES, but that by the time I got NES, that was like the thing I wanted. I remember being like, this is what I want. And it was a gift for the holidays.
Yeah. For me, it's like there's like 3 separate memories, and I'm not sure what order they happened in. I guess I could, probably like look up when stuff was released or whatever, and maybe parse it out. But it was like we went to an arcade at Fisherman's Wharf in San Francisco, and I don't think it was the first arcade I had ever been to, but there was an arcade out there, and they had the Space Invaders pinball machine, which was terrifying compared to the art on actual Space Invaders cabinets. But I remember, having to hit both flippers at the same time because I had to play it world flipper style. And then I had my great aunt. Her kids had a 2600, and they had like Pitfall and stuff like that. I remember seeing that and falling in love with that. But I think I'd already been to arcades multiple times at that point. And then when home systems started kind of happening, I wanted an Atari 2600 because I'd seen that and played that, and I was like, that's the thing. And my parents got me a Fairchild Channel F.
Wow. That was the first cart system, right?
I think it was among them, yes. And it had these weird knobby controllers that you could pull up and push down. It didn't have buttons, but you could turn it and move it in directions and pull it up and push it down, and it was really goofy. And had a bowling game that I got like amazing at, but only had like 20 or 30 games, and I think I only had like 6 or 7. So I still wanted a 2600, and then they got me an Atari 400, which was a computer. It had like the crappy membrane keyboard. Like the Atari 800 is the like real version of that, which I eventually upgraded to one of those. But the 400 and a cassette tape deck to play games off of, but it also took cartridges. Because it was a computer, and the idea of like your Amiga story about like, well, this is not just for games, it can be educational. And I think that the Fairchild had like a math game on it or something. And so my mom got suckered on that one as well, probably.
It was a great idea because no kid is going to say it's actually not really educational. You know what I mean? It's like a great scam.
Yeah. They're not going to out themselves. Yeah.
But yeah, so I had that Atari 400 and a bunch of cartridges for that, and Star Raiders and all that sort of stuff. And I think between that and like me and my dad would go to the arcade, not every weekend, but fairly frequently. There were like 3 or 4 in the area that we would mostly just go to the one in Petaluma, which was Dodge City, and it was in a bank. It was an old bank, and so they had games in the vault.
Oh,
which was kind of awesome.
Cool.
And then they eventually moved to a bigger location in the fairgrounds, which was like a much bigger location. I peed my pants in that arcade because I had a really good game of the Superman pinball machine that I didn't want to walk away from.
All right, I was about to knock you, but hey, I respect that. I respect the hell out of that.
And
I'm gonna piss myself in this.
I'm gonna piss myself because I'm doing so well at it.
Jeff's always been a gamer.
That's right, man.
Pissing himself for high scores.
Hell fucking yeah. Yeah, and then so like that was probably like 81 or 82 or something. There was like a Chuck E. Cheese in the area, and they had different games. There was 2 other arcades. There was the Aladdin's Castle in the mall, and then there was another place.
God,
I can't remember the name of it, but there was like multiple arcades.
Like
what?
Yeah.
In different towns, like you had to drive a little bit, but sometimes you get bored of the stuff that was in your town. You'd be like, well, we just need to drive up to Katati, and in this shitty mall here, the shitty strip mall, they've got Red Alert, and they've got this. And if we go up to the Aladdin's Castle, they've got Mousetrap, and they've got Kung Fu Master, and all that sort of stuff. And so you just need to get out and see the other games. For a while you had to go to Chuck E. Cheese if you wanted to play Donkey Kong Jr. because Dodge City didn't fucking have it. They had Seawolf, and you're like, done with Seawolf.
I can't imagine like kids nowadays having fond memories of arcades, because in my experience now, walking through like a Dave and Buster's or like around one, it's all just those roller coaster style ones where it's just like a giant thing in the middle that you kind of shoot sometimes or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
Or it's like, you know,
Doodle
I
jump.
like them, crane games, but you know, I don't see that big.
Well, you have a problem, but I feel like I think there's a lot of analog stuff that's still appealing.
Yeah.
Like skee ball. Like whenever I see skee ball, it's mobbed. There's something just real fun. But yes, the memory of like finishing the Simpsons game or the X-Men or Ninja Turtles, I'm not sure is a thing anymore.
I just go to my garage now and just turn on NBA Jam.
There you go.
Go to the soundboard and just go to what is it? It's a facial.
Delivers the facial.
Delivers the facial. Delivers the facial.
Yeah. It'll just say it over and over as many times as you need it. It's there for you. I just wish that there was a way to wire it up so there was just a button that would just make it say Pippin. Or Pippin.
Pippin.
Just over and over again.
Is Elijah one in that one? I've seen a different one.
I think he is. If he's not in that, he's in Tournament Edition, I think.
Elijah one. I need to turn
Elijah
on that other one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
great. I remember playing this in Europe and not having a fucking clue who any of these guys were.
Right. Funny.
Yeah.
I knew who Bill Clinton was. That was it.
I had that same thing, like getting into NFL Blitz and not giving a shit about football. It was just like, I know 4 of these names, and the team I'm playing is the Lions. I don't even know who the fuck any of these people are. But that was that was the same thing with hockey. I eventually had to learn who Luke Robitaille was, because
as we all
plays the Kings so much. Which is the one with Gretzky on it. I know who that guy is. He's good.
It's your hockey bar mitzvah.
Yeah.